Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction, the channel for United fans and football fans all over the world. Joining me today is Louis, Houston and Denver Red Army. Louis, welcome to the show. On the day of FA Cup Final 2023 between Manchester Derby, which was Manchester United against Manchester City. One team trying to get the treble, one team trying to stop the other team getting the double. As it stands, Man United lost to Manchester City by 2 goals to 1 and conceded the fastest goal in FA Cup football history in 16 seconds. Talk me through where we are. I'm quickly going to drop the stats for you quickly, because we're going to talk about the player ratings quickly. Uh, the stats shows Man City has 61%, Man United had 31%. Attempts off target by City was 6. Man United had 10 shots off target. City had 5 on target. United had 2 on target. United had 3 corner kicks. Man City had 3 corner kicks. Man City had 10 fouls. United considered 10 fouls. Right. United started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Vera, Lindelof, Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Ericsson, Fernandez, Sancho, and Rashford. Right. If we start from that lineup, all you need to let me know is on a scale of 1 to 10, how you're grading these guys. David De Gea.
6, average. First goal, I don't think there's much you can do. Second goal, maybe could have been a little bit better. Overall, had a couple of saves. Average.
Wan-Bissaka.
6.
Veron.
6.
Lindelof.
6.
Luke Shaw.
5.
Casemiro.
5.5.
Fred.
5.
Bruno Fernandez.
5.
Ericsson.
4. 3.
Sancho.
4.
Rashford.
4.
Among the subs that came on, Workhorst.
0.
That's McTominay. The
Average.
Scottish lad.
6 maybe. 5.
Garnacho.
There's so much to be said about Garnacho. There's so much to be said. But all I'll say is this. Number 7. Number 7. That's it.
Right. Eric Ten Hag for his tactic substitution and selection today.
5.5.
Wow. Ouch. So you've heard the player ratings of the United players today. If you start off the players who were really bad, you said Rashford, Sancho, Ericsson were literally the worst on the team today.
Yeah.
Ericsson. Start with Ericsson.
Ericsson, we missed Ericsson during his injury. We really needed him in certain moments. I think in games where we know there's not a dominant midfield, he's a great rotational player for us. He helps us keep possession, and sometimes he can get a little bit creative. Ericsson had no business being anywhere near that field. He had no business starting against Manchester City. He's just not fit for it. He's not up for it. He doesn't have the legs. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have, he doesn't have the intensity. He doesn't bring anything into this game. And frankly, the first goal, you could argue that it's in a bit of a transitional moment. The ball's kind of bouncing, comes off a United player, comes off a City player, comes off a United player, comes off a City player. In that moment, you still have to recognize that Gundogan is completely open, that he's in your space, that you're walking as he's moving in towards position, and as that ball comes over and as he finishes it, you're walking to the ball. The second volley, Gundogan, the closest player again, is Ericsson. He sees, like, you watch his head, he looks back, he sees Gundogan, He recognizes the ball is coming. And the effort to get to him, my grand runs faster.
Wow.
Man, it wasn't even a jog. It was fucking embarrassing. And again, I don't think it's unfair. He shouldn't have been put in that situation. He should not have been the starter in that game. He should not have played there in the midfield as a 10. He's just not that player anymore.
Right.
And I think he became a liability for us.
It seems to be. He seemed to have been a more liability. What do you think of Sancho today?
He no longer understands how a 1v1 works. No, and that's not a slight. That is facts. He does not know how to handle 1v1 situations anymore. He doesn't know whether he wants to go. He doesn't know whether he wants to turn and rotate and give the ball. He doesn't know if he can bring in another player and maybe create a 1-2 there. He's fucking lost.
Wow.
He's lost. And we've been talking about kind of the downfall of Sancho. We've been talking about he's going to find his form. He's going to find his form. He's going to fucking years. Where's the form? Where's the drive? Where's the attitude? You're supposed to be an English footballer and you don't understand what it means to be in a Manchester derby. It's embarrassing. I gave the back line pretty much an average because there's not too many things that they do wrong.
Yes, today. I feel the front line kind of were really poor today.
Yeah, no, that's the difference, right? The back line more or less kind of did their job. They could have done a lot of different things better, but the front line, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's abysmal. It's disrespectful to what is Manchester United and everything that Manchester United has built over the last 100 some odd years. You know,
the first Manchester derby in an FA Cup final. You consider goal in 16 seconds, 13 seconds, whatever you want to call it.
How are you not switched on?
I cannot comprehend that. I can't phantom that thought.
How is everything in your season not leading up to this moment?
I know, right?
How are you not freaking lying awake at night thinking about how you're going to handle this game? You just act like it's another Saturday in the park, and you concede in 15 seconds. It's just not good enough.
No, it's
just not good enough. And the thing that I've talked about all season, trying to be as positive as humanly possible. Yes, of course, we're in a rebuild in that, and we know that we need to sell players, and we know that we need to bring players in. That had nothing to do with his game. This game was about the event. Manchester derby, FA Cup final, Wembley. The treble belongs to Manchester United.
The heritage, the only English team, and you can't fight to defend that? And you concede in 16 seconds? Man, you ain't ready.
It's every little boy who dreams of being a professional footballer, you know, dreams of those moments, dreams of being a legend of a club. You know what I mean? The ones, you know, the ones that understand this game and understand, you know, basically what it means to play at the top level, they would give anything. You know what I'm saying? They would give absolutely anything to trade places with these players and play for a club and be the hero and be beloved and all that kind of thing. They would run until their feet bleed to try and defy the odds. We couldn't be fucking asked. Where if you're having a bad day in the game and your passes are not coming off and your finishing it sucks and you can't beat your defender that's marking you, push them, pull them, kick them, jump on them, do something, show the fight. And that's what I think that Manchester United fans have been missing for 10 years is just the drive to try and win. And I think that players, and it's something to say about the modern day footballer, I'm sure, but it's players that try to protect their brand rather than protecting their team and their club and their reputation as soccer players. What is Bruno Fernandes's reputation outside of Manchester United? It's kind of shit. People talk about him being a crybaby. People talk about him being lazy. We know that's not true because we've watched him play for an entire season and we've watched him lead and we've watched him play 90 minutes week in, week out. But to go in towards a game like this, and we should have rested him on fucking Sunday against Fulham. Why we played Bruno Fernandes there, and then trying to play him on the wing and say go up and down the field.
Yeah, you've always had the problem of him playing on the wing.
You've been playing every 3.5 days. You're tired of shit. We know you're tired of shit. You look tired of shit. Go play on the wing. Where's the sense in that?
No sense at all, mate.
So it makes sense that he drags ass the whole time because he's wondering what the hell he's doing out there. Your absolute best midfielder, and you don't put him in the midfield against the best team in the league.
So as it stands, it comes down to we were used as part of them achieving the greatness.
Pretty
they
much.
Just put us to one side, like, mate, you ain't part of what we just went past you. And the shame, the pride, like these guys just went right through like knife through butter and just put it to one side, heading to the Holy Grail.
I think
you had nothing to do to even make a stop to it. You just did nothing.
I think it's worse than that, man, because they didn't cut through us like butter. If they cut through us like butter, it would have been some 4-0, 5-0, you know, the game that Man City did not play well.
Not really, no.
And it was still
because Pep was stressed.
They did not play well, and it was still easy. That's what's embarrassing.
I know, right?
That's what's worse, because they didn't have a great game. They did not have a great game. They had some brilliant moments from Gundogan. Haaland was more or less quiet. Had a couple of chances, put one over the bar early on. De Gea saves one.
That was the end of that.
Nothing. Grealish gives away the handball. You know, quiet overall. Nothing from him. De
Bruyne wasn't. He wasn't running the show as he normally was.
No, definitely not. And having De Bruyne, Stones, and who was the other midfielder? But was it Rodri?
And they didn't play Mahrez. They had the reserve keeper in goal.
Yeah, I mean these kinds of things, man.
They brought Foden on.
Look, they're playing a game knowing that they're preparing for a Champions League final.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're preparing for a Champions League final. No one wants to get hurt. You know, you need to bring on some of your starters because you still want to win. It's a championship game. But you play it 70%, 60%. You know, the speed isn't there. The physicality is not necessarily there. You're just playing.
Right.
And you're just overrunning a midfield that makes no fucking sense with a double pivot of Casemiro and Fred, and then trying to play Eriksen at the 10 because he gets so disconnected. What is Casemiro and Fred supposed to do at that point? They're overrun 4v2 because Eriksen is jogging back somewhere. It makes no freaking sense. Even if you put Bruno Fernandes in the 8, don't even put him at the 10, put him in the 8, and he does a better job. You know, man, it's.
I could see you are really distraught about the game. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts and my composure because, like I said, I don't normally feel so disheartened. I think the last time I felt was the humiliation, demolition at Anfield. But this one just hurt because I just saw a team not try to stop City heading to greatness, and they're taking your title to be great. And you just did nothing. Like, all right, go through. That's how it felt to me, you know. And you know, it's just that, and it's sad. It is just poor. I'm tired of people saying, you know what? At least it was a 6-0. You know, United played well. They did not play well We did not play well. It is what it is. We were poor. Seriously. Our player of the year, Rapid, yeah. What? One shot over the post. I think that was about it for the whole day.
Yeah.
Now people realize how effective and important Anthony is down the left. Because on down the right. Because down the right today, there's nothing coming from there. You put Bruno there, Sancho on the other side. I'm sorry. Some people said the Sancho project should be over. I think mate.
I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep, man, if we sold him.
Yeah, you have mentioned it in previous videos that this guy.
I'm okay with him going. Like, I was willing to give him more time, but he's so consistently poor.
He is
so consistently poor. And part of it is part of the chances, and part of the backing is the British identity, right, and the British passport. I think that's why so many people rate him and want him to come on. Tell me why he starts over Garnacho today.
Garnacho did more in 15 minutes than this guy did in 65.
Garnacho's last 4 appearances, coming on as a sub, he has not created less than 2 chances in each one. He's had a minimum of 2, sometimes more. Because when he comes on, he's explosive, he's quick, he's creative, but most of all, he just takes some freaking initiative. He just says, I want to be like that legend of the club that used to play off the left. Want to be that guy. And he has the ambition and he has the drive. And I've been saying, like, yes, we need to nurture and protect and give this kid the best possible environment. He earned that spot. He earned that spot today. There's no question in my mind that our attack would have been different, completely different, if you put Garnacho there. Even if you put Garnacho there and put Sancho off the right because you don't have Anthony.
Right.
Makes more sense than putting Bruno there.
Right.
Eriksen doesn't necessarily Eriksen doesn't belong there.
No, not at all.
And Sancho does not necessarily deserve to start over Garnacho. Garnacho should have been starting on the left. Sancho should have been off the right, which his last game
would have made sense to me.
His last game off the right against Fulham was not a bad game.
No.
It was not a bad game for him.
No, it was not.
It was a bright spot in the last few months. And I said it then and I'll say it now. He had a decent game against Fulham. So why you feel like you have to start him off the left makes zero freaking sense to me. Put him off the right. Let Sancho come on and start the game and be explosive and be creative and be a problem for City. That's the thing. We created no problems. Rashford, he was shit today.
He was. A lot of people are looking like, oh, because it was United's player of the season. I said, no, listen, forget all those accolades. Today was historic for United, and they did not show up. They didn't show up. So I'm tired of trying to not want to. No, he was poor. He was just poor. Call it as it is. Damn.
Yeah, look,
stop
great
this emotional
great player,
feelings.
Phenomenal player. You know, a product of Manchester United. He has done amazing things for this club. He had a bad day. He played like shit. And it's okay to be a fan and to criticize it, because that's what shows the love. You know what I'm saying? We can criticize our club and we can demand better.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we hate Rashford or I hate Eriksen or that we hate certain players. No, it's we call it out because we demand better from what is Manchester United, and these players should demand better of themselves. The reason that you're on ridiculous wages and ridiculous contract is because what Manchester United is built. Because of what the brand means and what the brand is worth and what it brings in. If you devalue the brand, that's on you.
Right.
That's not on us as the fan base calling you out for playing bad. That's you playing bad.
It is the truth. You are bad. You're bad. There's no sugarcoat. We're not football.
fucking Glazers, but
Fans now are more aware than they used to be. There's so many ways you could go rewatch a game, highlights, check again, slow motion, non-slow motion, 3D, 10D, 10D. So they can't hoodwink us as they used to back in the day, like,
the average fan, and I'm not saying that the average fan is a footballing genius, but the average fan is able to go on YouTube and watch tactical
of
explanations
course, yeah,
and breakdowns and start to understand the game a little bit more.
100%,
Doesn't make
100%.
them it doesn't make them Ten Hag or Jose
No,
Mourinho,
no,
but
no,
it,
no,
it makes them
no.
an informed
100%,
who does a
100%.
little, who does some research, he has some understanding, and they're able to recognize, yeah, when things are not necessarily working. And it
Exactly my
allows us
point.
as fans to get into these moments and be like, I would change this. I would move this
Mm,
player
mm, mm,
here
mm, mm,
because I
mm.
think this player has these attributes and I think it would make more sense. So, it's no longer, and I mean, there's plenty of guys in their mom's basement in the armchair,
Right.
who's never freaking ran 10 feet in their life, who get online and say and spout stupid crap.
Right.
That person still exists. That fan still exists. It's
100%.
a large, growing fan, especially in countries like the U.S. where soccer is growing in a
Mm.
in a in a massive way. These fans are trying to get more engaged. They're trying to learn more. So now that they go and they see players that can't be asked to show up, that don't show any grit, that don't show any fight. Meanwhile, down the park at the Sunday League, you know, they're freaking gouging each other's eyes out for the
Exactly my
plastic that
point.
they get at the end of the season.
Wishing to be, hoping one day they'll end up in the
Yeah.
Premier League.
I love my job, man. I love my job. But if Manchester United called me tomorrow and said, we'll pay you $7.50 an hour to play us a right back, I'm gone.
I know you would be. I
I'm
know you would
gone.
be, mate. And
I'll
I know
be
your
there.
passion is there. I know you would.
I'll be living out of the locker room, dude. I don't care. I would do it just to be in that moment, to have the
Yeah,
glory,
yeah,
live
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
sit on Trafford and be in front of the fans and play the beautiful game that I love.
yeah, 100%.
You know what
Louis,
I'm saying?
so, we've come to that time of the show, what you stay on. It is that unfortunate situation in the FA Cup final. The last FA Cup final we played was 2018. We lost to Chelsea. That was a calamity with Phil Jones and De Gea. That still sticks in my mind. I thought today De Gea could, especially the second goal. When I look at it, Gundogan was so far out of the box and the ball, he didn't even catch the ball right. I mean, the ball just went doop doop.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
I think, and I was listening to Mark Goldberg talk about this one, and it was kind of interesting what he said. With the second goal, the first goal, there's no reason that fucking Gundogan should be unmarked there. Ericsson's got to step.
No, he should not be.
He's got to fucking step. Number one. The second goal, there's two defenders in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
There's two defenders in front of De Gea. And Goldberg made the remark of, he can't make a decision if it's not clear.
Mm.
So if he dives and it takes a deflection and it goes in, people are going to say, why did he dive?
Yeah, I think I understand that concept.
If he waits, it clears, and then he can't get there in time. People are going to say, well, why didn't he dive? Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. I kind of get that. I kind of understand that. At the same time, why is your back line not organized, man?
That answers
Why
the whole question. That puts a whole
you
bow
know,
around that whole situation right there.
Talking and look, fucking Wembley's huge. I'm sure it's loud, but we've talked about this. I have seen moments of leadership from De Gea. I have seen moments where he demands more of his players. I've seen him get vocal. It's not that often, and I think it was a couple weeks ago. Vim made this argument. Where it's like people don't see him as a leader because he's not that vocal that often. I wonder if he cannot organize. Who does it fall to? Does it fall to Varane? Does it fall to Casemiro? Who is the voice in that back that is organizing the line?
It's definitely not him. It's definitely not him.
And just recognizing when we're out of shape, out of position. It was not good from him today. And look,
No, it was not. It was not.
And I would still start De Gea. And people are saying that, oh, we need to get rid of him.
After the show, I will read a quote that Eric Ten Hag mentioned. So, right, it's been a pleasure today. Not for United fans. It's a journey. Man City move on to the next. So it comes down to Inter Milan, Lukaku, Mkhitaryan, and Damian, ex-United players, to end the treble chain. It is what it is.
Maybe they remember what it's like to be in a Manchester.
Maybe so. So we will catch up.
What it's like to hate Manchester City. So I hope that they.
So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We shall see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Take care and God bless.